There's nothing worse than sitting down at your computer, loading up your favorite game, and just not being into it. It's a feeling that I'm sure we've all had before, and today I'm going to give you 5 easy-ish steps to make Hearts of Iron 4 fun again. Step 1. Challenge yourself. Hearts of Iron 4 is a difficult game, both to learn and to play, and after a while it can seem a bit easy once you find the optimal way of doing things. Continue to push yourself and set new challenges to keep the game interesting. This can take a variety of forms. You can set self-imposed challenges, such as adhering to a specific playstyle like cavalry only, or making the same mistakes that your country made in a historical playthrough. Even something as simple as not researching any technologies can make your game way more hard and fun. You can also crank the difficulty up, which seems self-explanatory, but it's something that I forget I can do all the time. You can even start a game where you use the console commands to buff all the other nations around you and make yourself weaker. There are of course challenges built into the game, which are the achievements. You can use these as a bit of a guide when you're playing different nations to do some new playstyles that you may not have done before. Some of them are super difficult and will drive you both crazy and give you a great feeling of satisfaction once you've completed them. Step 2. Add some roleplay. If you're playing this game, it's safe to assume that you're interested in history, or you at least have a basic understanding of events that were happening during this time. Why not pick a nation you haven't really played before and guide them through the war much like they did in history, fighting in the same theatres and with the same tactics? For example, I recently played as Australia and fought in the North African campaign and in the Pacific, holding the Italians and the Japanese back, allowing my US allies to eventually join the war and save the day. This can be a great way of learning more about the history of the game. I paired a China playthrough with a podcast talking about the historical events, which I had a limited knowledge about, and I found myself really attached to my divisions that were fighting for their homes and their freedom. It can even be as small as creating a special division, giving them a unique name and following them throughout the war. Whenever I play the USA, I always keep an eye out for the 101st Airborne Division, making them the first into every major city and battle. It's exhilarating when they win, and devastating when they lose. You can also come up with your own ideas and run with them too. For example, what if Venezuela took the opportunity of the war to annex all their neighbours? Or what would happen if you created an African supernation? Doing things like this can breathe new life into your games. Step 3. Leave your comfort zone. Humans are creatures of habit, and we like to stick with what we know, and the same goes for Hearts of Iron 4. In the game, it could be things like playing Germany over and over, or even just sticking to the majors and ignoring the minor countries. Some people don't know how to use the spies or the navy, and that's fine, but rather than learning about it, they'll just ignore that aspect of the game when there's really a whole bunch of new content there for them to enjoy. You can also play around with the game settings to do interesting things like releasing all the British colonies or fragmenting the Soviet Union. If you release every single country, it can make the world at the start of the game almost unrecognizable. What I'm really saying is don't give up on the game until you've fully explored it. Most games have a map to uncover or levels to progress through. Well, think of that equivalent in HOI as your mastery of playing each country and playstyle. And after all that, if you feel like you've done everything HOI 4 has to offer, there are always the mods. Just head to the Steam store and sort by most popular, and you'll see that there are so many total conversion mods there. They're basically standalone games in their own right. Have a look through and try out any that might interest you. There are also usually Discord servers for them if you get stuck or need any help, where you can also meet new people that enjoy the game as well. Speaking of which, Step 4. Play with some friends. Of course, not everyone will be able to do this one. We are HOI 4 players after all. Not having friends is kind of a prerequisite. Enjoying this game in a multiplayer setting though can be really enjoyable, both gameplay wise and just laughing along with your mates at all the silly things that can happen. When I learnt this game, I was lucky enough to have one of my mates help teach me how to play, which made the struggle of not understanding everything that much easier because I was sharing it with someone else. The multiplayer is super fun, whether you're going head to head in a historical game or teaming up to see how much of the world that you guys can take over together. If you have any friends that are looking to get into the game, you can be that person. If you host a multiplayer game with someone that only has the base game, they get access to all the DLCs that you have during that playthrough, which is also a great way for them to try before they buy, and you can even split the cost and save money if you play together often. If you don't have any friends that you can pressure into playing, you can always check out the Discords available. There's a huge Hearts of Iron 4 multiplayer server where you can meet people and join games with them. And in my own Discord server, we occasionally run community games where anyone is welcome to join. But you can also just pop a message in there asking if anyone's free for a game, who knows? Step 5. Take a break. Sometimes we can get tired of even our favourite games. I swear I'm going to throw up if I even hear about Fusro or Dragonborn again after the amount of hours I put into Skyrim as a kid. It's okay, Mirak can't touch me here. Just remember that it is okay to take a break. To be honest, it's probably recommended. The amount of playtime some people put into this game, I worry that they don't even remember what the sun looks like. But just uninstall it for a while. Play some new games or take a step back from gaming entirely. Just work on yourself, go to the gym. Focus on your diet, learn a new skill, or do something else that's going to stimulate your mind and keep you occupied. Then, when you're ready, it'll be sitting there in your Steam library waiting for you to come back. Like a clingy ex-boyfriend. Thanks so much for watching. I hope that you found this helpful and entertaining. And if you did, why not leave a comment and like this video? You know what? Why not subscribe while you're at it? You're already halfway there. And have a look through some of my other videos and guides. Who knows? Maybe they'll help you out. A 1, 2, 3. Tuesday's gone with the wind. Oh, lol.